Out here to Sierra Space, and as I pulled up, I saw a police officer in the driveway. So their operating hours at like 8 a.m. to I don't know, I forgot what it said, but this is multiple times where police have been where I plan to go. So I think this is a moment for harassment. Police stalking harassment. So let's find out why the cops are here. So I just pressed the button. Look at that thing. Holy crap. Hello? But anyways, look, take a look. They got a rocket, a huge rocket in the lobby. And wait, so they're talking about the developments in their pamphlet. So I think that dude just told that guy, don't answer. Hello? Why are you looking at me? Why is that cop looking at me? That's weird.
Hey John, so you're not welcome here, okay?
Alright.
So you have to leave the property, okay? Otherwise you're gonna be arrested for trespassing, okay?
Did something happen? Or
Yeah, so they don't want you here anymore.
what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, so you can't be dropping off cards and notes here and stuff like that. You can apply online if you're looking for employment here, but they can't be having random people come into the lobby area and that.
Oh,
kind of
no. Yesterday, I heard what you said, but yesterday I parked and two people approached me. They asked me, hey, I asked them, did they work here? And they told me, yeah. And they said, how can I help you? And then I asked them, I told them about the cards I have about weightlifting and advancing weightlifting and helping people survive in space. And then the guy was like, I'll take a card from you. And then another lady arrived, and I asked her the same question: do you work here? And she said, yeah, I work here. Mm-hmm. And she said, and I told her about advancing weightlifting, and I handed her a card, and she was like, oh, my son's a weightlifter, but I don't think weightlifting's going to help us. And I told them that, well, actually, this is meant for space travel. It's supposed to provide the bone density to help you survive in space. So there's two people that were here yesterday. They never said, don't come back here.
Yeah, so I'm taking the report right now from them.
Yeah.
They wanted me to tell you that right now you're not allowed on the property anymore, okay?
Did they say what, like if there was like a...
Yeah, so it's because, and you're back here right now,
yeah.
Right? So people work here, they're kind of freaked out by random people coming in the lobby area. You know, you obviously have to have a key to get in.
Yeah, it says like visitors. When I came here yesterday, I read the sign. It said visitors and guests So it means like sometimes they allow visitors to be here, right? They
Yeah,
wouldn't
so-
have a sign saying that. And they,
But that has to be like scheduled ahead of time.
oh, well, I saw a button. So in most places they allow you to stop by. So there's
Yeah.
usually like a knock and or refusal. But most people allow you to knock on their door or to enter their business or to press their button to talk to somebody.
Yeah, so this is a little bit of a different business. They have security here full time. They don't allow anyone really to come in. I had to get a pass just to come in here, just being a police officer. Right?
How did you guys know I would be here? I would come back here today.
I didn't know that. I was taking the report from yesterday from
Yeah.
coming to the property. So I was communicating with people and seeing security footage
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So, and they wanted me to tell you that they're kind of freaked out by you trying to come in here, give cards and stuff like that.
Oh.
So they don't want you to come back here.
Okay. I won't come back. I apologize. And there's a guy standing right there. I won't come back. But that's weird. I've never. Usually they say to your face, "Hey, we don't want you here," or they don't call
and
the
sometimes
police
we're like a
before.
third party, like, you know, maybe they didn't feel comfortable about it, but now that you're back here on the property again, you know, it's kind of weird that you're coming back and giving more cards and stuff like that.
I came back to talk to. It's not weird. I came back to officially give somebody a card. Yesterday there was like an unofficial. I don't even know if those people worked here or not. They said they might have, but I've met people who lied before. So I came back to tell them that, hey, in person, to give them a card in person instead of handing it to somebody in the parking lot.
Yeah, I get you. So they got the cards in there. I got a picture of them too. So what I'm telling you right now is that they don't, security and like people that work here do not want you on the premises. It's not like an open thing that people come
they
and
just
go.
say
It's just employees.
Why is this door unlocked?
So this is like a vestibule area.
Yeah.
You do card in.
And then you
to
press
get in.
press the button.
Yeah, it's not open to visitors though,
Right.
or anyone like wanting to give them cards or anything like that. It's not open to that.
I'm leaving. But they could have just told me that in person. They didn't.
Yeah, I get you. So
they didn't have to call the police to make it like some type of government issue. This is a private business, not like a government business.
well, and that happens a lot with, you know, this kind of thing. So we're kind of the third party to tell you that you're not welcome back here.
Okay, and that is an unnecessary step to take. They could have just told me in person. I'm very easy to talk to.
Yeah, and they didn't know if you were gonna come back or anything like that. They didn't know how to get into contact with you, right? So
Yeah, they could have waited. If I showed up here and pressed that button, they could have been like, "Hey, we don't want you here," or "You're not allowed to come back here."
yeah,
for
so
whatever reason.
I'm the one telling you that right now. Okay.
All
So
right, that's cool. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for telling me.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I want to tell you, I don't believe this was coincidental. I think you guys knew I was going to be here right now. And that's why you waited for me to get here to be the one to tell me in person, don't come back as an officer. I think it's excessive. And I want you to know, go fuck yourself, you ugly lesbian bitch. You understand?
Sounds good.
Go fuck yourself.
Sounds good.
Ugly ass, fat ass bitch. So that's the gay community. And then she just locked the door, this little ugly, fat, dumb bitch. Holy shit. So I came here to pass out a card about advanced weightlifting and improving mankind, but they wanted me to they don't want me to be known, recognized, or they think this is dangerous. Holy shit. So instead of just saying, hey, don't come back, she said they decided to retaliate with violence because I talked against the gay community. Holy crap. Holy crap. Sorry. I'm waving. There are people there. I decided to wave. And look at them. Wow. I'm telling. Look at these gay people. Wow. Look at this shit. Gay cops. Gay police. Holy shit. Whoa, look at the gay community police. Because I exercise free speech and I told? Holy crap. What? No, you can't park there. Can you park anywhere on this street? I think you can. You should be able to. Wow. Holy crap. Holy crap. So Sierra Space decided to call the police and tell them, hey, that person is dangerous. We don't want him back. So yesterday I stopped here and I gave 2 people these cards. So if this card was dangerous, why would they tell me not to come back? Wait, this card's not that dangerous. So I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out why they said don't come back. That's weird, man, isn't it? To retaliate or to respond with a trespassing warning because you gave 2 people this card? I was here for about 5 minutes yesterday. I gave 2 employees this card, and I'll post the video online. But I came here for about, I think it was 5 minutes. And the woman was gay. They sent a gay police officer. You can tell by the nose ring. When lesbians I've been seeing a lot of lesbian gay police. So they immediately came here to stop me from getting famous. So the reason I said exercise those freedoms, it was because the woman was gay, and I know it was a personal, having the opportunity to trespass me was a personal like a personal thing for the gay community to be able to do that. Like you get an extra pleasure, from the gay community to trespass me from somewhere I'm trying to really improve. Something I'm trying to, from improving myself, from a place I would be able to grow from. So the gay people took the opportunity to trespass me from a location that technically you would grow from. You should be able to grow from there. So the woman took a pleasure. So they made sure it wasn't a heterosexual police officer that showed up. Somebody in the Madison Police Department made sure it was a gay police officer that came, and I'm sure she jumped on the wagon to make sure that it was a gay person I met at the door. And like I said yesterday, no one told me not to come back. No one ever said that. And the fact that they knew I was going to go back there for any purpose was interesting. Was very, very interesting that they were there before I got there. But I'm gonna call the Madison Police Department to find out who lied. Who at Sierra Space told lies to justify giving cards is not enough reason to trespass somebody. This card is what I gave them. So this is not a rationality to trespass someone, especially if they were very polite. I didn't record myself yesterday, but I was very polite when I handed these 2 cards to people. One person told me he had kids. He told me he was in a rush. He couldn't stay. And then the other lady told me she had a son who was a weightlifter. She did this when I approached her with her tongue, or she did something weird with her tongue, but I still talked to her, and I told her, hey, I got these cards. And then she told me, my son's a weightlifter, and I don't think that's going to ever help us. Weightlifting has nothing to do with what we do. So when I went to their website, I saw that they work with astronauts, and they prepare astronauts for space travel. By training. So with training that facilitates the space growth, prepares them to live in space. So I guess this idea is true. There's concrete evidence to this idea, and the fact that I know it or I went to someone who studies space makes it seem like, hey, there's a good chance you could be successful because of this card. And instead of doing the right thing at the moment, the gay community decided to do the wrong thing. They decided to kick the guy out who had this card in his hand. It doesn't matter what freedoms I exercise. What matters is the impressions in reality that come from the best ideas. So this idea is a good idea. It will leave an impression in reality that changes mankind's life forever. And that company, Sierra Space, has the purpose to advance humans so that they're capable of surviving in space longer. So if this is true, they have the resources and the tools to build a means to advance weightlifting. But because I spoke out against the gay community, but because I spoke out against the implants, they decided to trespass me irrationally, so illogically. And then act like I'm a violent type person. I'm not a violent type person. I speak freely, but that doesn't make me violent. If you go on the internet, you go on YouTube, you go all over the world, you see people speaking freely. That's what we always do. We cuss, we yell, we swear, we do what we want, but we are still capable of being successful. And you see leaders, celebrities, entertainers, politicians, all type of people swear and speak out against their political views, but speak on their political views. And they don't get trespassed from companies, or cops aren't called because they came to hand somebody a greeting card. That's not what we call police for. We don't call police to tell somebody we don't want you back to hand us a greeting card. You call police for dangerous people. I am not a dangerous person. I do not attack people. So this is weird. This is a very weird response, and they want it like a way to retaliate against intelligence, a harmful way to hurt someone's feelings. That's what this was about, and I'm positive it wasn't about me politely handing cards to that business. It was about retaliating for making an effort to escape, to improve your life. So you don't improve. John Lattimore does not improve. John Lattimore does not show people he's intelligent. John Lattimore doesn't do that. John Lattimore fails. And handing cards to people, no matter where you are, it's always been a sign of a good thing. It's always been a good thing. When you hand people cards like this, doesn't matter who you are. You can be the meanest person in the world. You can say the meanest things in the world. But people appreciate the nice gestures everyone makes. So that's what I came with. And they just told me in my ears, people are telling me, they looked at your online profile over and over again, and they decided that you aren't a good person. And they don't want anything to do with you. That's what they just said in my ears. But the only thing on my profile I wouldn't have a social media account if something on there was inappropriate. So it was because I spoke out against gay people. Or they said it's conspiracy theories on your online profile makes them afraid of you. But it wasn't about the conspiracy theories. There are none. I have no conspiracy theory. Well, I'm sorry. There are lots of conspiracy theorists all over the internet. So I stopped by to say hi to these people and give a card in person. And they decided to retaliate by saying that you can't come back. Now, look at their lobby. Their lobby is not meant for strangers or registered guests. They're meant for people who want to stop by and say hi to these guys. Look, you saw that lobby? It was designed for visitors of all types. That's what it was designed for. That's exactly what that lobby was built for. It looks like it. It's entertaining. and it's informative. It's very it's well done, and it's not casual. It's to entertain a wide range of people, to impress people. It's supposed to leave an impression, but it's a great expression of their company. The words on each pamphlet. It's a great way to express your company to the people who visit, and they decided to stop success from taking place. They decided to do things that gay people do, illogical, the opposite, to double down and prevent people from succeeding. Those are what gay people do. And it's probably because that company is connected. Well, it wouldn't matter. Even if the company is well connected, the idea that you brought to the company has to be worth something in order to get a response like this. So I think that if I came to that company with like an idea that had no gravity, that had no purpose, that had no value or some sort, they would easily say, hey, we don't think this is valuable, or we don't agree with this. But in reality, the idea is grand. So I think the response had to be severe because the idea was valuable, and so the response had to be illogical and severe. So those two together really push good ideas into the ground. Well, destroy good ideas. I mean, you had a severe illogical response to a great idea. It makes somebody really want to avoid you, or destroy, like personally think that their idea is no good, and or not want to hang out with you or be near you anymore because you firmly and illogically disagreed with them or didn't appreciate the energy they brought you. So I don't know. That's weird. So I'm gonna post this video, and then I have to make some phone calls and figure out who else in Wisconsin, Madison, works in the industrial industry for space travel. For who else helps people travel through space that's not connected to the gay community. That's the other thing. I think the leaders of Sierra Space are highly gay. And they built an empire using gay community members to create the company that they have. So somebody who speaks out against gay people couldn't actually work for Sierra Space, because Sierra Space is like a beacon that for gay people, not for straight people, but for gay people. So if you speak out, if you say you don't agree with gay culture, Sierra Space retaliates with the response you saw here. So that's Sierra Space, and because my YouTube channel is blocked and censored, no one will ever know that Sierra Space retaliated to the card I wrote. It doesn't matter. Someone just told me that your remarks to the police officer is the true reason why Sierra Space doesn't want you back. But my freedom has nothing to do with my strengths. So if I feel like freely speaking about my emotions or my feelings and conveying those ideas to somebody else, you should be supportive, because it's a freedom. It's our First Amendment right to tell people how you feel about them, whether they like it or not. It's a freedom. If I tell you I don't like you, if I tell you I think you're a horrible person, if I tell you I think call you names, it is because I feel that way and I know you did something you're not supposed to do, or this is an illogical path forward. So that officer did something on purpose. She made sure a gay person arrived to that business to tell somebody that they weren't allowed to come back. Somebody who spoke against the gay community. So that officer made sure it was her, so that it doubles the insult. It's like a two insults pushed together. One insult, you're not valued here. The second insult, a gay person, the person you spoke out against, is telling you you're not valued here. And so I know she's hiding like her joy that she's gay and that she was allowed to tell me, somebody who who speaks out against gay culture, they're not invited somewhere they're trying to improve. So that was her joy. That was the company's joy. And they hide it behind a wall. So that's like that facade where her face is innocent or about on the verge of tears, or it's a wall. Beneath that wall is a joy, a satisfaction that this guy who's trying to improve is not going to be able to improve. And he's going to be crushed by the response he received from Sierra Space. So there was a joy, like you could do it too. If you knew somebody you didn't like was coming to you for help or assistance, or you know what I'm talking about, like a what do you call it? What do you call that when you know someone wants something that you have and they can't get it any other way? If you wanted to hurt their feelings, you could just tell them no. I mean, technically, sometimes they're allowed to have it, and sometimes it's up to you to decide whether or not they get it. And on those occasions where you get to decide and you know you're going to say no flat out because you don't like them, you get a little bit of satisfaction that somebody came to you and it was up to you to help them or say no to them, that you got to say no. So you hide it, but you know in a couple of seconds you're going to go back to your friends joking and laughing and telling everybody, hey, you know, I just did it. I just shut him down. I just crushed him. I know he was crushed. I know it hurt his feelings. I know this wasn't what he planned or what was the path that the logical choices that normally he expects, that most people would expect would happen. You're supposed to give these nice cards to people and good things are supposed to happen. And the opposite happened. So regardless of where the information came from, what is valuable is the path forward for all mankind. So it could be a bad person, but it's irrelevant. We accept criminals and good people who are making progress to improve humanity. So even bad people will make great choices that humanity appreciates. Or even outspoken people who say controversial ideas are still expected or accepted by humanity. So my social media account is irrelevant. My profiles are irrelevant. What is relevant is the contributions to mankind. That's relevant. This is relevant. This has gravity. The paper weighs very little, but it's quite the expression. And if you follow through on these instructions, you will make a huge impression in reality. And people.